And we are live once again, man. Shout out to the AKs that support the channel. I appreciate everything y'all do for me and me. I'm back. You know what I mean? I had to, I got the puppy, so it's been a little hectic. Then I've been out the house a lot too. So I've been back and forth between the two of those things. I had my this is my birthday week, so my sons took me fishing yesterday, and I've been running around doing some things. But excuse the absence. I'll give y'all some time to join up and get up in here. But glad to be back. Glad to be on here, man. Dax on, what's good, man? I see you jumped on. Everybody who's jumping in the chat, y'all know what to do. Do your homework and do your pay your house dues, which is take your goddamn shoes off and hit the like button. You know what I mean? Kick back, relax. We about to do something real fun today. And we're gonna talk about not only Quentin Williams, even though I know that's the title of this video. Appreciate that, King GT 2311. We're not just gonna talk about Quentin. We're gonna talk about everything everybody been talking about, because a lot of y'all been hitting me up saying, when you going live again, AKOYE? I'm like, man, I'm coming. I'm coming. It's a lot of stuff, good stuff coming down the pipe for you guys. Appreciate all the members as well. You guys have been doing good numbers, man. I appreciate that, man. Anybody who hasn't joined up, y'all already know what to do, man. Make sure y'all join up, do what you're supposed to do, because y'all about to get some film today. And y'all already know what happened when I put the film up. What it do, AKOYE? This is Reezy. He said, what up with the family in the building? He said, what's up to all y'all? He said, Q is a big piece of what's going on up front. That's what Nigel Awanza said. Uh, was I actually did Quentin a disservice, and it's because people talk so much shit that I had to defend things that I shouldn't have to defend. Like, I've been defending Rashan Gary this whole offseason, so much so, him and Kenny Clark, so much so that I kind of neglected Quentin. And that's because Quentin had already been a staple, is one piece that, everybody kind of agrees is a staple. So nobody talks about him. But just how dominant he is, I don't think people paid attention to how dominant Quentin Williams has been for the Cowboys. And then this is without Rashan Gary on the team, and without a full season between him, or off season between him and Quentin Williams, which we have right now. So, I mean, not Quentin Williams, Kenny Clark, which you have right now. So Quentin and Kenny are problems in the middle. And then you take them, hold on, it's a fly right here on my jaw. I want to get him. Motherfucker, did I get him? I hate flies, man. And these dogs bring, I got him. Motherfucker fast as shit, huh? Yeah. Daniel Son. Wax on, wax off out this bitch. All right. But listen, Quentin Williams and Kenny Clark in the middle of the field is just they a problem. You know what I mean? And I was looking at their film. I didn't take Kenny this time, because I did a lot of film on Kenny. You guys have seen, a lot of lives on Kenny so far, dating back to last season. Didn't feel like I needed to show you what Kenny Clark can do. But what Quentin Williams has been to the Cowboys is ridiculous. And when you just talk about a 1-to-1 trade, or 2-to-1, if you talk about 2-to-1, just Kenny and Quentin, we've been talking about the trade and the strength of the trade. But when you just talk about the 1-to-1 relationship, I haven't seen very many fully dominant games from Micah on this level. You know what I'm saying? When I say on this level, I mean run and pass. And Quentin, although he didn't get the sacks, I think he had like 2.5 sacks, which is, it doesn't even speak. That's why I don't like stats. It doesn't speak to his impact on the field. Once again, I've been saying that. But we're going to go through the Raiders footage. We're going to go through the Eagles game, and most of, if not all of KC. I picked those 3 games because those were the first 3 games he played for us. And I didn't have time to do the rest of the season, but maybe we'll do a part 2, and I'll get the rest of the season out here for y'all. But just in these 3 games, the amount of times he's in Mahomes' face, Hurts' face, and Geno Smith's face is crazy. Like, Quentin Williams is a problem, and he's going to create a lot of opportunities for the rest of those guys around him. But also, he's going to kill people himself. Like, he's a murderer, man. Like, it's really not a joke. But before we get into that, a lot of people have been talking about, the secondary. They've been talking about, are our edges good enough? They've been talking about a lot of different things, right? I think that the approach that Christian Parker has right now, and the thing that I have to say about Christian Parker is this. I don't know if it's people just want something to say, which I understand. ESPN, all you guys have to have something to say. I have to have something to say too. I understand. But I don't just say things, and I'm not saying you got to be like me. Be whoever the hell you want to be. It's a free world, free country, I think. I mean, for now. But do what you want to do, right? But when it comes to the way I'm looking at the way people are talking. It's like they don't they want to have it both ways. Remember Marlo said you want the world to be one way, and it's not. These guys want to have it both ways, and it can't be both ways. Meaning you can love Christian Parker. You can't love Christian Parker to the point where you say he's a genius, he's an evil scientist, he's a guy that took Bond and made him an all-pro and all this other stuff that people say to lord over him, right? But then at the same time, keep questioning every decision the man makes. Have you ever been, any of you guys ever been married? I got an ex-wife for a reason. But you ever been married, every decision you make, no matter what it is, it could be like you could cure cancer, and she'll have a question as to how you could have did it better, or is it going to work? You know what I mean? And this could be your job. You know what I mean? You could be a bus driver. She could say, do you know how to drive this thing, so to speak? You know what I mean? They just question anything and everything. That's how we are with CP. We treat him like a naggy wife. You know what I mean? Everything he says, everything he does, he'll give you the answer for what he's looking for, especially pre-draft. He said what type of players he was looking for, what type of linebackers he wanted, what type of secondary he wanted, what type of position he looks at, how he looks at the nickel position. And then you see people questioning not Quentin, but Caleb Downs. They say, hey, is Caleb Downs going to be able to play the nickel fully? But he just said to you before the draft, when you first interviewed him, and the crazy thing is the people who asked the question about it are the guys on the same channel or the same station that interviewed him. 105.3 The Fan, I'm not going to put it up, but 105.3 The Fan interviewed Christian Parker when he first became the defensive coordinator. They asked him about the different positions that he looks at and how he looks at the nickel position as a premium position, how he looks at defensive tackles, which is why you kind of understood why Osa was leaving, but then they questioned Osa leaving. But he told you Osa was leaving when he started talking about Kenny Clark and he talking about the 1.5 gap scheme. He talked about it. He said, hey, Kenny Clark is the best in the league at it. And Quentin Williams played it in Alabama in that mint scheme under Saban. He said those things. They still ask, why is Osa leaving? He just told you. You know what I'm saying? He just told you. Talking about what type of linebackers does he want? Okay. He says, hey, I want linebackers that are smart and I can see them processing on the field, but fast. They have to be athletic too, right? But smart. You know what I mean? So he says, okay, I'm looking for certain types of guys. Everybody argued, we need CJ Allen, downhill, rugged, thuggish, you know what I mean? Snub nose, just run stopping linebacker who looks slow and sluggish, right? Well, I like CJ Allen too, right? But what did I do after I seen it? I said, oh, he ain't looking for guys like CJ Allen. So why would I? Why would I look at them? Why would I argue for something that he just said he don't want here for his scheme, which y'all say y'all want the scheme. Y'all talking about, can we win a Super Bowl with him, right? Will he be here for multiple years? We ask all these questions, but what the hell do you think is going to get him to these places that he's trying to get? Doing the things the way he wants to do them is what's going to get him there. So why are we questioning everything he's done before anybody ever took a snap? I don't understand it. And I don't mean questioning it like, how will he do this? I get that. I do that. Everybody does that. How will he do this? How will he apply that? I get that. Everybody does that, right? But whether or not it makes any sense, like when we're looking at personnel. So again, I'll get back to the Caleb Downs conversation before I get into the film of Quentin Williams. They were talking about the fact that Caleb Downs has only played, well, they said he only played 100, or 10% of the snaps at nickel since since his time in Alabama all the way up. But they didn't think to look at the times in the box when he's playing that 5-1-5 scheme and he's one safety, kind of playing linebacker. But when he's playing zone, he doesn't follow the receiver in motion. So now he's just in the box. But he was there on those plays. But then he slid to the box and still made plays from there near the line of scrimmage. Sometimes guarding a tight end, which he's still in the box when he's guarding a tight end, but he's still playing nickel, which he'll be doing here. So he had 870-something snaps from the box, 574 from true nickel in his 3 years, and then another 130 from actual cornerback outside, whether that be he was playing man and the guy flexed out, whatever it may be. He was out there 130 times. So when you combine those, right, he's played more in the nickel or near and around the line of scrimmage than he's ever played single high anyway, which was very easy to find. Some say, well, why are we questioning this? But he also said, even if you want to question that, he said Nick Emanuari, or Emmanuari. You know I'm bad with these names. You know, even though my name's AKOYE, I ain't African, so I can't pronounce those names. No offense, but either way, I say Odigizua. Also Odigizua, pretty good though. I do say that. But either way, when you look at what they're questioning, is like, hey, listen, Caleb Downs near or around the line of scrimmage. Nick Emmanuari is a type of player that can guard your tight end, can guard a slot receiver. Even Nick Emmanuari, or Nick, we just gonna call him Nick E. Even Nick E is more so your tight end eraser and your run stopper from the slot than he is your man cover guy from the slot. They use Devin Weatherspoon for the quick, twitchy, athletic receivers. So they do it with two positions. He actually said that too. We can do it with one because we got a guy who can do both in Caleb Downs. I don't understand why that's a question. I don't know why it's a question. I don't know why we arguing about it. But all right, cool, no problem. You know what I mean? Then you move on to the edge position, right? The first move this man made, the very first move he made before doing anything else, was to go get Rashan Gary, right? Now, I said, hey, I didn't know who Rashan Gary was, so I'm going to give it an even Steven conversation. And then I started looking at his film. I took a deep dive into his film and said, okay, I like the guy. Then after I said it, I started getting questioned by other content creators who thought I didn't know what I was talking about. So we did it live, right? And I liked him even more. Then I started getting questioned by actual Micah Parsons' brother, and he was talking trash on certain things I was posting. And I started liking him even more. And then we started talking about stats. I got his advisor on, and he pointed me to certain things as well. And then I started looking at the strength of competition because my friends over in the other content networks say, hey, all sacks aren't created equal. And I said, you absolutely right. So let's go look and see how he got his sacks. Let me just do that. And when I started looking at Rashan Gary's sacks and the strength of competition, you could say he has 7.5 sacks, but who are they against and how did he get them? You know what I'm saying? In 2024, the year that Lane Johnson supposedly went 0 and he gave up 0 sacks, Rashan Gary beat him twice. Lane Johnson didn't get beat by anybody else at all. And I'm saying I watched all of they happened to play, which is crazy to me, all of the top pass rushers that season. Guess how many of those guys did anything against Lane Johnson? None. He lined up against TJ Watt the whole game. TJ Watt got one pressure, meaning he touched Hurts one time, and that's it. Hurts got out of the pocket, ran, nothing happened, right? But that was one pressure I would give TJ Watt that one. Other than that, stonewalled whole game, nothing, 0. Myles Garrett, who we argue is the best in the game, stayed away from Lane Johnson the entire game. He lined up against him maybe 2-3 times. And then most of the time he was playing the crawl position. He was standing up in the A gap, kind of stunting at Lane so he can get a running start, not just truly lining up. I'm right here. You know where I'm at. No, he did none of that. Get what I'm saying? Not at all. He usually lines up the opposite side anyway, but they only moved him over to the left maybe 3 times. He had a pressure, in my opinion, from there, just one, but still, he wasn't over there. So they didn't beat Lane. They respected it. Said, we ain't even going over there. Then Micah Parsons played him 2 times that year. He came back from the injury. He played him. They stunted him, tried to get him, on some stunts towards Lane. He had one inside move on Lane where I would say it looked like he could have had a pressure. That was it. The rest of the time they were stunting up the A gap. The second time they played where Overshawn had the 2 sacks against Hurts and Micah had 2 sacks. Micah was stunting from the right side over Mailata, and he got his sacks in the A gap, which I say he should have been lined up in anyway. He didn't get him on Lane Johnson. You know what I'm saying? So who beat Lane Johnson that year? Rashan fucking Gary. So I said, well, hold up. You can't tell me the Bulls are bum and can't pass rush, and we in trouble when it comes to pass rush. But then you got Quinnen Williams, Kenny Clark in the middle who are going to soak up blocks, which I'm about to show you. And then you got a guy like that's out there one-on-one with anybody. If you could beat Lane, you could beat anybody in the league, period, right? So why the hell would I be mad about that? But everybody questioned Christian Parker when it came to the Rashan Gary pickup too. And now they're questioning Malachi Lawrence. They're questioning Ezraku. They're questioning everything that they're doing and don't even know what the scheme really is yet. They're just assuming things and questioning, are we good as far as pass rush is concerned? Well, if Christian Parker is good with it, I'm good with it. That's how I'm really looking at it right now. Now, if I see it on the film during the season or in the training camp, we got some injuries or something going on, I say, hey, this don't look like it's working, bruh. Then we might start asking questions. But until then, I can't. I'm not going off of the I wants. You know what I mean? None of the guys that are out there, especially when you talk about pass rush, that people would want, have played as little or as few snaps as Gary, right? But Gary's productivity and production is just as high as theirs. And I already showed you guys that he's playing half the snaps that everyone else was playing because they were taking him out on passing downs. He got his sacks on running downs, which is harder to do. If you get a sack on third down, don't everybody know he's throwing the ball on third down? Yeah. When you get it on first down, it's a lot more difficult. When you get them on play actions, it's a lot more difficult to do. Do you understand that? I don't think people understand what I'm saying. So a lot of the things that I've been talking about, I've been arguing about, it make me seem like I'm just going against the grain for whatever reason. I'm really not. I'm listening to the damn coach that we say we like so goddamn much. That's all I'm doing. I listen to what they say, and then I go try to watch the film through the lens that they've given us. That's it. That's all. Everything else is just porn. That's what it is. All right. So no offense to nobody, but it's just like the arguments. Every time I say something, every time CP say something, it's like, you sure? And I got to go do more film. And then it look like I'm trying to justify everything I'm saying because I got to keep doing film off the film that I just did off the film, you know what I'm saying? It's getting annoying because I'm trying to move on to other players. But every time I say something, especially when it comes to Rashan Gary, we keep coming back to the conversation. I've been talking about this since we signed him. We keep talking about it. Like, y'all be happy if we had Sweat? I wouldn't, because he don't stop the run, and I just don't think Sweat is the guy, me personally. But then if you look at anybody else, like Max Crosby, okay, he hurt. Now, if he's well and you get him next season, you got Max Crosby opposite Rashan Gary. Who wouldn't want to do that? Okay, great. But to say that we in trouble unless we get him is insane. None of those guys can do what I've seen Rashan Gary doing. I'm talking about he fucks people up, man. He's a vicious bull. So now we're going to get into some other viciousness since we're talking about it, right? And that viciousness is Quinnen goddamn Williams. I don't know his middle name, but his mama called him Quinnen. I'm going to call him Quinnen. And I ain't even do no cut ups for it or nothing. I'm going to just put it up here in 1 second, right after I go into this chat and talk to y'all real quick. But it's just go around the nation and listen to the BS that's being talked about when it comes to the things that we are fantasizing about. We keep fantasizing problems. You know what I'm saying? Worry wording about nothing. There's nothing even like when you look, if you know ball, and I know ball, y'all know ball, they all know ball too. Everybody knows ball. If you know ball and you say, okay, even if you just know science, shortest distance between 2 points and math is a straight line. Who's in the A gap? Who's going to be in the A gap? Who's going to be in the B gap? It's going to be Kenny Clark, Quinnen Williams most of the time in the interior, right? Both those guys are gangsters. No defensive end is going to have trouble when quarterbacks don't have the right or the ability to step up. Most defensive ends, even your speed rushers who rush wide like your Houstons and so on, they're going to have fun because you get upfield, the quarterback going to be stepping back there for you. He ain't going to be able to step up. And that's a different ball game, okay? Now, we're going to see a little bit of it in a second, but when you look at that, it's crazy. And then when you look at the fact that these guys are going to be ISO one-on-one on the outside, sometimes not even, because if you're looking at a guy playing 4-eye, Kenny Clark and Quinnen Williams, and I'll show you some of their positions in 4-eye, but when you're looking at them playing 4-eye, they're shading the inside shoulder of the tackle, right? Meaning that tackle has to help that guard. If he steps out, if he kicks out to the outside linebacker and he kicks out there, you just left a guard or you just left that guard one-on-one with Quinnen Williams or Kenny Clark, they're going to get killed. If you double team or if you just keeping that inside shoulder there because you have to block inside out, that's football. Everybody know ball, right? So that means you got half a man or half a body to be able to deal with whoever's on the outside. You ain't going to be able to kick out as much because Kenny Clark and Quinnen Williams, they're both at 4-eye, and you have Ogbo as nose tackle or someone else, or Toia at nose tackle, and Kenny Clark and Quinnen Williams at 4-eye. Man, you're not helping no tight ends against these outside linebackers. They out there rushing free. Are they dealing with half a tackle? Or those guys in the interior are pinching to try to stop Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark. And then you still one-on-one outside. And I'm going to show y'all that. And every time you see it, just imagine if it's Gary there, because Gary wasn't here last year. Imagine if it was Gary in some of those positions, some of these looks that we get. It's not even fair, right? So I don't gotta beat the drum on that. I'm just gonna show you, and then you can tell me what you think, and then we go from there. But let me say what's up. Roderick Morris said, fans are like walking up a hill and down. They go with whatever fits what they want to hear. Give me the big boys on both sides, and it'll all come together. I agree. You control the trenches, you control everything, and that's true. Like a lot of people just want what they want, and I can't knock you for that. But to want it so much that you keep creating narratives of doubt after every step is annoying. It's very annoying. It is. Not to me. It's annoying to watch because it's like, okay, all right, man. Can we talk scheme? Can we talk about, what is actually going to be applied on the field and how we might deploy these guys? So on, what could we be doing? Stop thinking about what we can't do. What can we do with the guys we have? How about we do that? And then we decide. We're not doing none of that. We just saying, oh, he's look at the stats. He ain't did shit last year. What the hell do that got to do with now? What do that got to do with anything? As a Rock who only got 4 sacks. What the hell that got to do with now? Nothing. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. Crazy. I need your help to calm my nerves. I love the Christian Parker hire, but do you think we are overhyping? No, I don't think we're over. You can't overhype the personnel changes that he's made. I don't think you can overhype that. That's what I'm trying to say. You got Quentin Williams here already. You got Kenny Clark here already. You got Ogbo here, right? Those three require a double team, each of them. That is not me guessing or hoping that they require a double team. That is their history. That's what they warrant. Bullard, who's a backup, requires a double team. He's a run-stopping savant, so is Ogbo. They're space eaters. Like, you can't do anything with them. They do not back up. They do not move. Okay? That's what you have on your interior. So is that, you can't say that's overhyped. And now you got 2 guys outside of those 3. Now count. Let's do math. Not coming at you when I say this. I'm not trying to be condescending, but let's do math. There's only 5 offensive linemen. If you got 3 guys on the line that all require a double team, you 1 lineman short, somebody one-on-one. That means you either bringing another lineman on the field like Detroit likes to do, or you got a tight end in to try to help somebody every once in a while, right? Well, where does that leave the guys on the outside? Who's blocked? Again, now that's 6. That's 6 dedicated to 3. 6 to 3. That ratio is pretty damn good. So who is blocking the other 2? And then Rashan Gary required a goddamn double team. So who's blocking the other 1? Well, you're running out of people. So you're either going to be playing max protection where you ain't got nobody out running routes. So how hard is it for the secondary to cover 2 people? Okay, you got the quarterback. You got 5 linemen. That's 6 of the 11. Okay. Then you got an extra tight end in, maybe 2. Okay. If it's 2 of them, all right. Now you got 8. That's 8 people dedicated to the line of scrimmage right now. Then you got your running back. It's 9. There's only 2 receivers on the field there. You know what I'm saying? They're not going nowhere. And it's not that hard to guard the tight ends. You know what I'm saying? With those type of looks. And then you rerouting the tight ends with your outside linebackers anyway, right? So you get where we're going with this. And I showed y'all this with the Marcus Dixon fronts. I showed y'all. I said, this is what Van Ginkel and Grenard were doing. They rerouting guys. And then the secondary has time to adjust to the routes because they're buying the defensive line time to get home and buying the secondary time by rerouting. So now that quarterback's forced to read the field outside in instead of inside out. And quarterbacks like to read the diamond first. And when I say the diamond, that means tight end to tight end and then the middle of the field. Well, if you got somebody in the middle of the field and you got the tight ends being rerouted, now I got to wait for these outside routes to develop. And you can sit on those, can't you? And he has to throw further away from himself. And if you're stuck in the pocket doing that and you one of these running quarterbacks that we have in this division, see, this is just all scheme. This ain't the dream. This ain't the dream. I ain't selling no dreams, dog. I ain't got no dreams to sell. This is all scheme, okay? So if you got a quarterback having to throw to the furthest outside the sticks, you know what I mean, from the pocket every time, and there is no goddamn pocket, don't you have a recipe for success? I think so. And does it matter who you have out there? It does, but it doesn't, because Green Bay corners suck. They suck. But you can watch them last year. They jumping everything. Why? Because every time Rashan Gary and Micah Parsons on the field together, that ball came out fast as hell. When him, Wyatt, and Garrett was on the field together, ball coming out like that. Well, cornerbacks know that. They sitting on that. You know what I'm saying? So now you have that recipe. So do I think that's overhyped? Hell no, they don't overhype. No, it's not. And then you got guys who can actually cover and play press out there as well with a scheme that is really predicated on making a quarterback hold the ball and make good decisions. Why do you think Dak had so much trouble with Fangio while he was coming up? Because that scheme forces you to be an elite pre and post snap quarterback. You better know what you're looking at pre snap because they disguise everything, and you better be good post snap. You know why? Because right after the snap, they've changed what they're doing, and they're forcing you to hold the ball longer because they're taking away your check downs, right? So now you got to hold that ball, wait for things to develop. Now you got to be like Dak and be able to hold safeties, look safeties off, and hit guys anyway. You know why he's able to do that? Because he had to develop that to be able to beat that type of scheme. You ain't beating it no other way. You got to make throws like the throw he made to Pickens when we were trying to come back in that Eagles game. You got to make those types of throws if you're a quarterback trying to beat this team. That's hard to do. That's not overhyped, bro. It's not overhyped. I mean, there's no way I can say that. But I do appreciate the question. Thank you. And I appreciate the super chat too, man. Appreciate that. Respect Dada for sharing your thoughts. Where Dada at? Dada said, oh yeah, that was Dada actually. Thanks, Dada. You changed your did you change your profile pic? I know I saw that one before, but I thought you had another one before that. I might be mixing you up with mine. This is Roderick Crockett. He said, "What's up, AKOYE and the Cowboys Nation? Quick question: do we really have an edge problem? Because I really don't necessarily, or think we do. I mean, sorry about that. Because I think we really don't necessarily because of what we have inside the D line. Please help me out, AKOYE. I'm a little dyslexic, so excuse me. I was mixing those up. I was saying thank over here, but either way, whatever. But yeah." He said, help me out. I just talked about that extensively, and I will say it again, right? What we're going to say is this. If you look at Rashan Gary's footage, I put a bunch of film out on Rashan Gary. Matter of fact, this is what we're going to do real quick. I'm going to pull this up real quick. Let me see if I got this in here. I think I did it on this computer. I did. Rashan Gary. All right, we're going to put this up. Shout out. Hold on. And we're going to pull one more in. Where's everybody up? So if y'all think I'm joking, right? Now, if you think I'm joking, I don't think we have a problem because of this, right? Now I'm gonna pull this up, and I gotta make this mute, because I said a lot of things on there. But I was looking at what Pro Football Focus put out there on Lane Johnson and his season. You guys can read it, but it says based on Pro Football Focus data from 2024, basically Eagles right tackle Lane Johnson did not allow a single sack in regular season or playoff action, which is a goddamn lie. And I'll show you. But then they also said he gave up only 10 pressures the entire regular season, 15 games. Okay, and then in the playoffs, I counted pressures as well. So you guys can count the pressures. I ain't got to count them. All right. And then we're going to go into Quinnen Williams next. Let's get into it real quick. Now, here's the actual example of what I'm talking about, too. You see who's inside right now? Who's inside or playing inside of Gary? That's Quinnen. I mean, that's Kenny Clark, right? I believe it is. Let me see. Make sure. Boom. At the snap. So Lane is out here on the island by himself. Right, you're gonna have a lot of tackles are gonna be out there on body. So yeah, that's Kenny Clark. They look like a pressure to me. I don't know. Maybe it's not a pressure. I don't know what I'm talking about. I ain't playing the NFL. I don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? But looked like he flushed him out of the pocket to me. Looks like a pressure. They said he had 0 pressures in this game. That's a pressure. And what happened with the ball? Not a goddamn thing. All right, that was all Rashan Gary there. We're looking at all reps, not just the pass rush reps. But here you can see. Okay. Oh shit. Damn. Hold on, my bad, people. There's this play here. Here you can see. You see what what Kenny Clark is lined up this time? This is 4. It's really almost 5, but it's 4. He's playing 4 tech, right? So where is he? He's lined up right over Lane Johnson. And then you have Gary out there, no man's land again. but he's lined up over Lane Johnson. So guess what Lane can't do? He got to respect this formation. He can't kick out. Look, 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 look. Look who free. He can't kick out. Now, this is a QB keeper, but if it wasn't a QB keeper, this is why I say, now, how hard is it for defensive ends or outside linebackers to rush a quarterback when these are the type of looks you're getting, especially if you're playing your base formation or you're playing the penny formation, which you have 3 down linemen on the interior. So you see that A gap right now? They're doing it with Quay Walker playing off ball. He's controlling the A gap, and that center is getting upfield to hit Quay Walker because they know they're playing a light box when it comes to Quay Walker in there. But when we play those penny formations, it won't be Quay Walker. It won't be a linebacker standing in the middle of the field unless it's nickel, right? Unless we're playing third down and we're playing 4 down linemen. But if we decide to play nickel using the penny scheme, meaning 5-1-5, meaning 5 down linemen or 5 linemen, 3 interior linemen, 2 outside linebackers, right? 1 middle linebacker, and then you have Caleb Downs playing that rover in the middle of the field and nickel. If he spread out in nickel, cool. Sometimes he'll be in the box, great. But there won't be any room for that center to get upfield, right? Right. So if that's the case, that means Kenny Clark, Quentin Williams, and whoever's playing nose tackle are all occupying the entire offensive line, leaving guys like Gary free to do shit like that. Just get a running start and smack the shit out your quarterback. You want to keep doing that all day against the scheme, do it. Now, you see here, again, where's Gary? He out there in no man's land. Now, this wasn't him against Lane right here, but he out there in no man's land. Let's see what's happening. And then since we talking about, we're going to show what everybody else did against him too. See what's happening. Boom, bang. All right, they said he didn't do anything meaningful this game. I'm like, yo, he had a pretty damn good game to me. Looked like a good game to me. All right, he only played 30 snaps and made like 5-6 plays. That's pretty good. That's like 20%. Boom. Now, this one they said he didn't get out of his break, so they didn't count this sack. I mean, they didn't get out of his stance, so they didn't count this sack against Lane, which is fine with me. I don't care. I don't think that, I don't think he was ready either. That's fine. But he still, I don't see nobody else did this at all, even if they say, oh, he didn't get out of his stance. Well, nobody else got a sag on him not out of his stance or in his stance. But this was the regular season, and this is what everybody thought I was talking about. I wasn't talking about this when I said he beat him, though. I said he beat him for a sack, right? I wasn't talking about this play. I gave y'all this. I said, oh, that was nothing. This is him versus the run. Once again, this is not him against Lane, but beating 2 tight ends, still tackling Saquon for no gain. 1, 2, get the fuck out of here. 3, done. No gain. Like that he can do, plus what he's doing outside. Nobody, most defensive ends in the game, unless you Myles Garrett, ain't doing shit like that. This is just another repeat of them saying, like, in the playoff. This is PFF saying, in the playoffs, Gary did next to nothing in the playoffs, basically what he's saying against Lane Johnson, right? And this is the Super Bowl run that they had, too. They had to go through Green Bay to do it or go through the Packers to do it, right? He had 1 sack in the regular season. They said 0 in the one-on-ones. How do you lie like that, though? 0 in the one-on-ones versus Gary, true one-on-ones. I'm like, that's straight up lie. 0 sacks in the true one-on-ones, and Lane Johnson neutralized Gary in a physical win. Okay. Now, that's what they said. I ain't say it. That's what Pro Football Focus said. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's watch since they said it. And this is why I don't listen to them or nobody else who come talking to me about no goddamn stats, because they don't know what they're talking about. This is the whole playoff game the same season. Now, this is all you got to do for me if you want me to shut up about do we have a problem at edge, because y'all think that y'all said we needed Micah. Show me any game that Micah ever played against Lane Johnson this good. Any. Show me one. And I don't mean stunting in the A gap. I mean lined up over here like he likes to and beating him. You don't got none. Show me him doing anything like this at all in the playoffs. He hasn't. So why would I be like, I'm worried about this guy and I want the other guy who can't do what this guy just did? Don't make no sense to me. All right, but let's keep going. Boom. All right. I say that's a good rep for both. If he'd have stayed in there a little longer. But here's my point in this play. If he stayed in there a little longer, he's in trouble. But watch the A gap. Just look. This is just a 4-man line too. Again, we playing penny. It's another interior lineman in here, right? But look at Kenny Clark. Look at where Hurts can't step. And this is what I was just talking to y'all about when I said the secondary. Do we need any help? When you have guys rerouting those tight ends from this position, right? and that quarterback can't step up in the pocket, Hurts and those guys have to make plays from the pocket. Now, he made this one, right? But you got to make plays from the pocket, and you can't step up. You see that? There is nowhere to step up. There's someone in your lap. You can't step up. You ain't going nowhere. You can't step up because Kenny Clark put that man in your lap. All right, so will Quinnen Williams. All right, you can't step up. So you got to make those throws to the outside. Like I just said, it's not a dream. It's all scheme, okay? Once again, let's look at this one. Boom. They said no one-on-ones, no one-on-one. Oh, this one is just a running play. He wants this one back probably. He should have blew Hurts up on that play, but didn't get a chance to. Whatever. He probably want that one back. But I ain't even count that one as a pressure, Roderick, because that wasn't a pressure. This is just a stunt. So he's wedging here, so he's going wet. But Lane Johnson recovers pretty well, right? Boom, because Kenny Clark's trying to get around there. Lane Johnson going to get off of this. Say, boom. He sees that wedge. He gets off of that, recovers. But look at the end of this play. Boom. Punch the shit out of Hurts on this one. I like this game. I said, this was a good game. He had a good game. He ain't look trash to me. If you say, hey, who's 52? I would say, yo, give me that guy, right? And we got him. All right, here we go. These are all one-on-ones. Let's see what's happening. Lane one-on-one on an island. Why? Because they got to help the interior. Boom. Put him in his lap. That's a pressure. Hurts got to get the fuck out of there. He tried to get up in the B gap. Can't. Then he chases him out on the perimeter. Now, who you ever see, and I'm going to show you the other ones lining up against him, they don't ever push Lane into no Hurts' lap. Lane don't move. He a wall. I'm going to show you what he does to the best in the game. And not just one play. I'm talking about, I'm going to show you their games next because I looked at all of them. I said, well, who had the best games versus Lane? He did. Why you think Lane signed his jersey and gave it to him? Not because he trash. But anyway, there you go. Him and Kenny Clark, it's a good rep. I still say Lane recovered very well and won this one because he ain't close enough to hit the quarterback. But he did force him to get the ball out pretty quick. But watch the rest of them. They said no pressures, though. He got zero pressure. Zero pressure. Is this a pressure? Boom. Is that a pressure, y'all? I think that's a fucking pressure. But nobody said that's a pressure. Him and Kenny Clark, look at where they meeting at the damn quarterback. Can he step up into this throw? No. This is what I'm saying to y'all. Okay, if you can't step up in the throws and you force the throw and the pocket is collapsed in your lap and you got to throw from there, these are the type of opportunities I'm looking for, right? And this is what Christian Parker's looking for too. In your damn lap. That's a pressure, okay? They said Lane gave up zero pressure this game. That's a pressure. When you slapping Lane and the quarterback at the same time and forcing incompletions, those are pressures, buddy. All right, here we go. Is this a pressure? Is this a pressure? There's one-on-one again. Is that a pressure? No, this is a goddamn sack one-on-one. Now, he drove him back off the first move, boom, into his lap, boom. And then look at the A-gap, though. Look at the A-gap. Do you see this? I don't think this is Kenny this time. But look at the A-gap. Can Hurts step up? No. No. What's about to happen, though? First off, they had to hold to stop it, but can Hurts step up? No. No. Now watch this. What's going to happen? Up and under, boom. Who else did this to Lane at all? Nobody. Nobody's done it. Show me somebody. Go get it. Show me the film. Nobody. They said he gave up 0 sacks, right? Well, the truth is he gave up 2 to Rashan Gary only. That's it. Nobody else beat him all year. And I looked at the best against him, and we're going to watch that. All right, the war daddies that y'all looking for didn't do shit. So why we want them? They didn't do shit against them. So why are we crying? If we got the guy who beat the guy who everybody says they can't beat. Don't make no sense. Don't make no sense. That's like if you go get your big brother and your big brother whooping everybody. Look at that. Okay, now he got a sack in this game already. He got 2 pressures in this game that I gave him credit for. A sack, 2 pressures, a real sack, too. Not no bullshit sack. 2 pressures. This is the playoffs, too. Now, watch this. Who you ever seen take Lane on a ride like this? Who? Show me somebody. Tell me the game. I ain't seen it. Boom. Lane gone. If Lane don't hold right there, Rashan is about to break Hurts the fuck up right now. Boom. That was speed to power. He holds and yanks him down because Rashan is about to, that's a sack fumble waiting to happen if he doesn't do that. Rashan going right for the ball. Look where he's looking. Look where he's going for. That's the ball. That's done. That's done. Now, you got a hold off he got a hold on this play plus a pressure. So you got a hold and a pressure. So the hold count as a sack because you just lost 10 yards because you had to hold me. You had to hold me, or I would have sacked your quarterback anyway, right? Am I wrong? No. So How y'all not giving him credit for this? And you said, did he get the hold? Let's look, because I got to make sure I give everybody the evidence, because they think I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. All right, cool. He got a hold, didn't he? All right, Hurts is running for his life too, ain't he? Why? Because he just blew Lane the fuck up by himself. Now, was that double team? It's one-on-one. Oh, I got hair in my throat. Talk too damn much. Boom, done. Okay. So he busted, he was busting this game up by himself. All right. This is just a run play. But watch how he breaks up this trap. They try to come across with this trap block. Watch this. How you get a tackle for no gain after just doing that was enough for somebody else to eat, right? He still recovered and go do it himself. Bang. Show me anybody, any defensive ends y'all love doing those things. All right. We ain't gonna waste no time. We ain't gonna waste no time, because y'all know, when we waste time, y'all get upset. Y'all start going places, and so did the NFL. Now, he got held. He wasn't jumping because of a hold. They gave him the hold, so he got it. All right. So let's hear it. Now, y'all tell me, was that, put it in the chat. Did he win? Did he beat him? Did he look like did he get dominated? They said he washed him, he blanked him for nothing. That's what they saying to me on Twitter too. What game y'all watching? What game you watching? Did he blank him? No. We're gonna get into Quentin next, right after this, because now we're gonna put up everybody else. All right. So the call outs ain't there. You gotta know where Myles Garrett is on your own. So Myles Garrett is over here. This is a rep against Lane here. Boom. Inside move. Still collapsed the pocket. I thought that was a good collapse, but what was the result? A goddamn touchdown. All right, let's see. Over here, is he over there this time too? Where's Myles? Myles is standing up in the A gap, right? All right, now watch this. Boom. Got I would say almost a pressure there. He fell. All right, where's Myles? Myles on the outside, on the right side. Boom. Melada did a good job of just taking him around the play. Okay, let's see. Where's Myles? Now, look at how many people at the line of scrimmage at that. Myles over there with Lane again. That was a good pressure. Myles got a pressure there. I gave him that. Boom. Got the ball out fast, though. Myles is over there with, I don't know who there that time. But what's the result? What's the results? Hurts is in the pocket looking comfortable as fuck. Look at that. Comfortable. Room to step up. Comfortable. Throwing touchdowns. Throwing darts like it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because he got plenty of room. Plenty of room. These guys are so dominant. We need a word daddy. What he doing? He looked like he practicing. No discomfort. Just looked like practice. That was pretty good. Look at this. Us. He just spinning the ball, just throwing him. All right, Myles over there this time. No, what happened? Got choked the fuck up. What happened? He only was over there like 4 times. He ain't really doing shit. Okay, here we go. Let's see again. Myles back where he belong on the other side. Boom. I gave him a kind of a pressure there. Let's see who 99 is. Did 99 beat Lane on the inside move? Yeah, that was okay. Lane still rolled him all the way across the rest of the field. What happened? Oh, man. Bombs. All right, that was all of Myles Garrett against Lane Johnson. Did he do anything? Hell no. Let's watch TJ Watts. He over there the whole time. At least TJ played him the whole game. Nothing. Boom. Nothing. Stonewall. Do you see him in the quarterback's lap almost every play? Hell no. Nothing. Let's see. Nothing. Again, he over there. At least TJ played him the whole game, though. Nothing. Oh, that was okay. What happened? Nothing. Get what I'm saying? All right, let's see. You see him having to get the ball out fast because he's scared or something? No. He's spinning it. He's comfortable against the guys the war daddies. He's comfortable. He's throwing touchdowns like it's nothing. He's comfortable. Do you understand what I'm saying? Comfortable. I do film, dog. I don't be playing. Film. Comfortable. He's comfortable. Do you understand what we talking about? He is comfortable. Where's TJ? TJ, where you at? Somebody get the GPS. Where you at? Where you at? I love TJ Watt. He's another BT Jordan disciple. Where TJ at now? He don't even bother this play. He comfortable, dog. What we talking about? There is no urgency to get that ball out because we got to get the ball out because TJ over there one-on-one against Lane. We got to give Lane some help. Lane is whooping their ass by himself. Whooping his ass. That play right there is the only pressure I gave him right there. Boom. And it's still, look at the result. But that was a pressure. There you go, TJ. Clap, clap. TJ got a pressure. That's it. That's the only one. All right, let's go. What's happening? Nothing. Nothing. Nobody is in Hurts' face at all. Nothing again. What happened? Nothing. He just throwing oops. He just throwing them up. Nothing. Again, nothing. Keep telling me y'all know what I'm talking about. Nothing. They doing nothing. Where you at? Oh, that's a hole. He kind of held you. Touchdown. Stop it. They ain't call it. Shut up. All right, what's next? Nothing. That was a good play by Joey Porter Jr., though. Good play. What's happening here? He's in the end zone. Nothing. Again, what happened? Nothing. Nothing. He danced it. Nothing. He was holding the ball like a loaf of bread. Nothing. He had to get rid of that. Nothing. Here go Micah. All right, here go Micah twice. Micah got to play him twice. Did Micah do anything against TJ? Nothing. I mean, against Lane? Nothing. Micah over there right now. Where you at? Boom. Nothing. Stand over there. Shut up. Touchdown. Stop it. Stop it. Booth was getting cooked too. I said, damn, Booth was bad. That was bad. Here we go. Micah over there again. What happened? Nothing. And this ain't even Hurts. Oh, that's the same John. My bad. Same play. All right. Hold on. Oh, that was good, Micah. Nothing. Stop it. Stop it. Stop talking. Stop. Stop talking. Stop. 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 Y'all was mad we got, what we going to do without Micah? What is Micah doing against the guys? Oh, there go a good inside move against who? Mailata. What happened? Touchdown. Oh, he caught it out of bounds. Good job. Good job, Bland. You over there? Why Micah move? Why ain't over there with Lane no more? What happened? Why move? Oh, it's the coach's decision. Nothing. Touchdown. Stop it. He out there. What's happening? Nothing. That was a good play, though. He got out fast. What's happening? Micah over there with Mulata again, right? What is he doing, though? Nothing. What happening? Nothing. Touchdowns. They whooping ass with a backup quarterback. Where Micah out in this one? Where he at? I think he covering on this one. Oh, what? Oh, Pickens. Kenny Pickens. Oh, man, look how they're just throwing oops. They're just throwing oops. So what Micah do that game? Not a goddamn thing. All right. So here we go. He playing a backup over here. Melada ain't over there. What he do there? Nothing. What happened? Boop. Back shoulder fades. No problems. This Hurts looking good. Where Micah lined up right now, though? In that A gap. Why you think that is? Because he can't beat Lane. Okay. And he a linebacker. So guess what? He need to deal with centers, guards, and who else? Running backs. But nobody believe me when I say that. Because do you see Micah whooping ass straight? Is he whooping tackles asses outside? No, he's stunting. Why you think that is? Because when he outside right there, boom, what's happening? He's getting taken right around the quarterback. And what's happening after that? Well, that was actually a good breakup by the secondary. What's happening? Is he whooping Lane ass? Where Lane at? Is he whooping Lane ass? Nothing is happening. Getting choked up. Boom. That should have been a touchdown. Just AJ gave up on the play. What's happening? Nothing. Oh, that was good. Diggs saved us on that one. What's happening? Who did that? That was Overshawn. Look at this. Overshawn blitzing. Nobody blocking Overshawn. Why? Because Micah over there. Cool. But did he beat Lane? Did he even look like he was about to beat Lane? No. What happened, though? Touchdown. Okay. What's happening? He over there. They try to stunt. Nothing. What's happening? He over there again. What's happening? What's happening? Nothing. What are we talking about? He had what? Touchdown. Stop it. Why people keep talking shit? What's happening here? Nothing. All I got to say is nothing. That was the best rush he had all game right there. This was a good one against Lane. Put him in his lap. About time. He did it one time. You could give him a pressure if you want to. I'll say it's a pressure if you want to say it. I won't even argue. I won't argue. What's happening? He's stunting. Why? Because he ain't gonna beat him. He know I'm not gonna beat that man. And did I cherry pick? Fuck no. Okay. So let's go. Let's go. What's happening? I thought we need a war daddy. We need a war daddy. I thought we need one. Boss, I love you. I don't think you came up with war daddy. I'm not coming at you when I mimic the war daddy shit. I'm just saying, how are we screaming like we in trouble when this is what the people who you think we would go get are doing against the trouble? What was we talking about? Here we go. What's happening? Nothing. That ain't even Lane. Lane took a break. This is number 75. I don't even know who that is. 75. What do you do against him? Micah said, let me get over here. There's a backup in there. Nothing. Is it backup still in? No, Lane back in it now. Oh, this is the only pressure he got, the real pressure he got. Why he get it? Because ain't nobody block you, bro, and it's a play action. Lane ain't bother blocking you. So it look like you chasing men for their life, or they running for their lives, right? Hey, ain't nobody blocked your ass. All right, here we go. What's happening? Boom. Who did that? Oh, who was it? It was Overshawn. Why? Because he blitzing in the A gap where Micah should be. That's where he should be. He should be doing the same shit. All right, here we go. Back over there. Here come Micah after playing coverage. Up. Nothing. Overshawn again. I think Micah gonna get one on this one though. Why? Because he stunned it. Stunned it. Yep. Got himself a sack finally. Did he beat somebody to get it? No, he just used his feet and ran in circles. Here we go. Boom. Nothing. Every time he gets blocked, nothing happens. Boom. There go another stunt. All right. So we talk about Micah's just killing. Who ass he whooping? Done. Did they give me a strike? I hope they didn't do it because they be doing that to me. But I'll rest my case. Now, did they give me a strike? Let me know if they hit my page or not, because they should. They usually hit me when I go for film that long. Let me see. Somebody tell me if I'm still on. I'm still on. I'm on. No, I'm going. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? This is what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. They called the law. I'm staying. I'm waiting though. Yeah. What's up? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hold on a second. Hold on. Hold on a second. Sadiqa, am I back? Am I back or is it still down? It's still down? Oh, I'm still on here. Let me see if they keep me off or not. But ain't that something? All right. Well, let me know when I'm back. All right. All right. Thank you. All right, go ahead. Uh, I'm live, but they just struck my channel. The NFL just struck me. I'm just waiting for it to come back up because they struck me for being too right about shit. But go ahead. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Y'all give me 1 second. I see that y'all saying we back, but I'm hold on. I gotta talk to my partner real quick. Fiance. Let me talk. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. A place to go. All right, so you got his information? Okay. Yeah, not give it to him, but we just gonna talk to him again. Like we gonna reach out to him if we need him. But let me call you back right after this live. I'll be off in the next couple of minutes. All right. Yeah, it don't matter. All right. All right. Sadiqa, I know we back. I got you. I'm on. All right, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I was just taking that break because they had me off. Hold on. Sorry about that, y'all. That was a business call. I couldn't miss it. Okay. Y'all see what they do though when I start talking. And this is why I say, listen, for those of you who like this type of content, I'm not playing when I say it. I'm not trying to like make y'all do nothing, but you got to understand, right? My channel is always at risk. This is why y'all don't see me. Every time I put my stuff up and I do what I'm doing, I get this happens to me. And now I know I'm not getting paid for this video, and I'm probably gonna get an NFL strike and they're gonna demonetize me probably for like a month or two, maybe. But hopefully they don't, because they know there's not malicious when I do these, and they usually do a manual review and they don't charge me for it, but they will make sure I don't get paid for none of the views. So make sure y'all hit the membership button, because it was 130 of y'all in here just getting it for free. You know what I mean? Cool. And then when I get a strike, it's like nothing to see here. No problem. We go to another channel, right? But this is why I say y'all need to become members. So hit that membership button, because I'm giving y'all facts. Ain't no bullshit coming out over here. And the only way I can do it is by showing it to you. But every time I show it to you, it's like they don't want you to see it. It's crazy. But I'm like, yo, come on, bro. We talk about the big three all the time. And then I can go to find Max Crosby against them too. But come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. I don't understand how this is an argument now. Now, do I need to show y'all Gary again? I don't think I do. I think y'all get it. I think y'all get it. I'm gonna give it a couple seconds because I need to do Quentin Williams film, but I think they mad at me. So I'm like, I don't know if I want to put the Quentin Williams film up right now. Teaching how to watch film and evaluate players should be non-copyright issue. Yeah, man, it should be, but it is when it's a manual review. I think somebody calls them, because I've seen people go on live and do their thing anyway. Maybe I need to block it out like I see Boss doing sometimes. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Somebody said somebody called the feds. Yeah, they called the feds on me, man. They called the feds on me, man. He said you can't show film like that. They said, come on, YouTube. Oh, damn. Y'all missed a good amount. And let me see. Let me see. Damn, film session was canceled by the NFL at 111. All right, so y'all ain't even see the end of it, which is crazy. I was still going. I was talking shit. It was fire while it lasted. Excellent work, AKOYE Media. Appreciate you, man. That's fucked up. They got me, man. They said Micah saw this and made a phone call. It's like, no, damn. All the way back then, I remember where you said no. Damn, y'all always saying wow back at like 109. NFL hating. So they must have got me at like 109. Messed up. Y'all ain't get to see the end. I'm gonna do it anyway. Good goddamn. All right, you already got me. So I'm gonna put the end up here real quick. Yeah, why not? Just the end. I think it was about here. Boom. About here. Point being, these all touchdowns. Did y'all see this? I think y'all saw this. Point being, though, these all touchdowns. Touchdowns, nobody having no problems. And no, he didn't beat Lane. And right there is the closest thing he did to beating him the whole game. All these are stunts. I put that out. I'm gonna keep removing it and going back in later. But maybe in the future do a blur or something like Boss does with the overlay. I'll try something else, but I'm gonna try to put. I'm not gonna do Quentin Williams yet, which is crazy. I gotta change the whole title to this, John. because I'm not gonna do Quentin Williams yet because I know they're gonna strike me if I do that. Or we could just so this is what we'll do. We'll play it out. If they hit me again, I'll do another live later with Quentin Williams. All right. But I'm gonna do that anyway. But I'm gonna try it now, and then we'll see what's going on and see if that works. Or trying to think of another way I could do this. Trying to think of another way I could do it. I know turning it sideways work for boss, but top left corner. Yeah, I know the top left corner is there. I'm gonna go into Filmora real quick and see if I could do it over here. And then if that worked, then it worked. Let me see what happens when we do it this way though. Boom. All right. All right. I'm gonna put an overlay on this. I'm just editing this real quick so that I can go fast and I ain't gotta chill. All right. Let me see if I can put something over this that make it look different. Filters. I gotta make it look like a comic book or something. Maybe this will do it. Maybe this will work. If it don't work, I tried, fellas and lady. All right. Get back into the show. Let's see what happens. They got me again. Yeah, it's done. All right.